I call this meeting to order. By roll call, show that all council members are present. We welcome those in attendance tonight and those watching on Sholo TV or an electronic device. Tonight, Dax Clark will give the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Sophie Ellis. Those of you who would like to join, please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're so thankful that we were all able to travel here safely tonight, and please bless that this meeting will be able to move forward with professionalism and respect for those in the room. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for a call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the City Council may do so at this time.
Our next item is to call to the public. I'll turn the time over to the City Attorney, Ms. Atencio.
Seeing nobody that came up, Acting Mayor, I'll turn it back to you.
We close call to the public and move to special events. I now turn the time over to Mrs. Beeler and Mrs. Zampedri.
Go ahead. Okay. So we want to thank the city of Sholo for allowing the giving machine to be placed over at the Bluffs in the barn there for this holiday season. That's what we're here to talk about, is the giving machine that will be placed there.
The dates of the giving machine are November 18th to December 2nd. The giving machine will be available for people to visit and use from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening, all of those days. And at 6 o'clock, there will be a special event going on every night. Musical numbers, I don't know, the range of what might be happening is large.
Maybe some cookies and cocoa. It could be
so.
anything.
And Mayor Leach, thank you for being willing to speak and welcome the machine into our community at our launch event, which is November 18th. There's a special VIP. You're welcome to bring a guest. On the 18th at 4:30 in the barn area. And so from 4:30 to 5:30, there'll be a light dinner and pictures. And then from 5:30 to 6:30 will be the program. And you're actually on it twice. So you'll welcome, you're on it twice.
Yes.
In the beginning, you'll welcome the giving machine to the community. And then towards the end, Dave Tinney will do a little interview and you'll be one of our first donators. And he'll ask you why you chose to donate. And then you'll clip the ribbon and make your donation. Okay, good. We appreciate
It's
it.
such a great thing for our community. We have local charities that when people donate, it goes directly to them. And so it's all local, or I think that there is 2 that are statewide, but the rest are local charities that are able to benefit from having the machine in our community.
And then there are some global charities also on there. So,
Before I let you go, I want to thank Councilman Adams for sure for working with you guys and making sure we can have that here in Shola. I'm pretty excited. We did a video, we did a video yesterday and it was kind of fun. So I don't know how it's going to turn out or what it's going to look like, but it's pretty exciting. But everybody knows it's at the Meadow Barn, right, Trail. Not sure if you said that at the beginning, but it's pretty exciting to have that in Sholo. I know it's going to be here for a couple of weeks and then it goes
to Snowflake.
Prescott, and then it goes to Snowflake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of travels around a little bit like that.
Yep.
Councilman Adams, do you have anything you want to say?
Just super excited. I hope everyone comes out and donates. If you could talk just a little bit about how the procedure works, how you go and donate, what it's like, and what they can pick from things. If you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I would love to. It's really simple. It's go back to the 80s and vending machines. It's kind of like that. You pick your number of the item you want. Let me just pull up really quick and I'll tell you some of the things that you can donate to.
Kids are up there going, what do you mean 80s vending?
Right? I don't know how else to describe it. It'll be tricky for you, but you'll figure it out. Yeah. So some of the things that you can donate to, you can donate books, a veteran flag, a driver's license, a grave wreath, clothing for children, sports physicals, childhood activities, a holiday meal.
A month of electricity.
Yes,
A month of heat. Bedding.
Chickens, goats. I mean, there's lots. It's kind of fun. You'll like it. And there's
Turkeys on there. I was wondering if those were pre-cooked.
right. I hope so. Maybe not. So and it's just there'll be people working at the machines all day, every day. And so when you come up, they'll show you how to use the machine and walk you through it. And yeah, it just brings a really sweet feeling to your heart during this season of giving. I feel like November and December is a time when people open their hearts and want to help others, and this is a really easy way to do that. So, yep. Okay, any more? Yep, you're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you. I will now turn the time over to Commander Westover.
Mayor, council, staff, thanks for having me today. It's always an honor as a police department to present to the community things we're doing as a police department to keep the community safe and improve quality of life. It was great to hang out with these young men and women today and get to know them better. Their parents should be proud and our community should be proud that they're up and comers. So thanks for hanging out with us at the police department too. So today I'm going to briefly hit on some of our strategies to deal with traffic issues and traffic safety issues, and we call them the 3E strategy, and that's enforcement, engineering, and education. We have technology in town that helps us closely monitor traffic trends and when we have the most traffic and what days of the week we have traffic and times, and that way we can intentionally handle traffic and have our resources deployed effectively and intentionally to those places. This is an example from July to August. The reads, it was interesting, we had over 1 million different vehicles in town during that time span. Needless to say, Show is very busy. We have technology to show us hot spots of where these collisions are happening and help us dive deeper into the whys behind some of these traffic safety areas. There's injury accidents. You see that some of the locations are very similar. And then we have fatal accidents. And those are stats from year to year. When do we see most of our traffic? Again, our technology helps us look at what our peak times are for traffic, and it makes a lot of sense. It starts spiking around when parents are dropping kids off at school or kids are going to school, and it continues throughout the day, and then it declines after everybody goes home for the night. What days of the week, we can analyze that, and it changes seasonally. We grab our strategies and our efforts from gold standards in policing, and specifically NACOG is a big one, and DDAX is data-driven approaches to crime and traffic safety. That's the gold standard on how to deal with traffic plans. So again, I'm going to hit on enforcement, engineering, and education. So enforcement, study after study shows that there's no replacement for marked units in our problem areas. We call that place-based policing. So wherever we're having the issues, we put our officers and they turn on their lights and pull people over and give them warnings and tickets, and people tend to slow down when they know officers are in the area, right? We're blessed to be fully staffed now, and you're going to see a big difference in our marked presence on the Deuce and on the 260 and some of these hot spots that I just showed you in town. We're also going to work more effectively in our school zones. Our kids are some of our highest priorities in town, and we want to keep them safe, and we're going to get our SROs out there with their cars and our school resource officers and have them turning on lights. We're going to use our animal control officers out there to be more visible, and our senior patrol officers are also excited to be part of that effort. In talking to all our regional partners, they're also committed to helping keep Show Low safe. We have all our big highways coming into town, and we've got DPS committed. We've got Pine Top Lakeside is another agency that helps mitigate traffic coming into Show Low, and of course, we've got our county partners committed. Engineering is a big one. There are things we are doing as a city, and it's great to meet with council and staff to see what we can do with our roads and our city engineers and the ADOT engineers. I've sat down with our city partners and ADOT and the super smart people that deal with road design and traffic signals and timing and what we can do. These are examples of things we're looking into to make Whipple and the Deuce safer, and Wolford and the 260 and the 260 corridor safer. There's connectivity projects, and what that'll do is help pull people off the highways and help them use surface streets to get to where they need to go, and that keeps a lot of the congestion off our highways. And then we're looking at speed management, and we're collaborating with ADOT on these strategies. The final one is education. This is a big one. We can start a campaign, and we plan to, that we can push out on social media and the radio and newspapers, special events, youth outreach with our school resource officers. Underage drivers are a big causation of accidents, so teaching our youth to drive safer and stop at stop signs and be a little more responsible when they're on the roadways, and our senior centers and wherever we can to remind people to buckle up and stay off their cell phones and drive the speed limit, pay attention to what you're doing. And we also have software that we're using called Spider Tech that helps us connect with the community and educate them about our efforts. These are some beautiful examples of safety campaigns that we can do. Miles and his team are very gifted in slogans and images. These strategies align with city council goals, and you're aware of those already. They're in line with the city's vision and Show Low Police Department's mission. And so in summary, we're going to deal with traffic safety through enforcement, engineering, and education. And we're grateful for the council's support in these efforts. I'm open to questions if you have any. No? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is the consent calendar. Does any council member wish to pull an item for discussion? On the consent calendar, we have consideration of acceptance of commercial roof replacement, acceptance of aquatic center pool replaster and repair, award of contract for manhole replacement, job order contract, approval of regular council minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
For Councilman Adams, I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Is there a second?
I am seconding the motion for the Councilman Judd.
We have a motion and a second to approve the council consent calendar. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Motion passed 7-0. We will now move on to new business. The first item under new business is the public hearing and consideration of ordinance number 2025-05, amending Title 17, Land Development, of City Code by amending Title 17 to allow for plat approvals in accordance with HB 2447, and amending Title 17 to allow the Public Works Director to approve certain public improvements, and adopting resolution number R202542, declaring as public record that documents titled Title 17 Land Development. Mr. Tregaskis.
Thank you, Mayor. You're doing great. This is the first of two related items. We felt it better to split them apart just for clarity. However, you will see some reference back and forth between the two. During the recent Arizona State Legislative Session, the legislature passed House Bill 2447, or HB 2447. This bill requires cities and towns to amend their codes to allow for certain at-risk grading projects. This bill also requires cities and towns to approve preliminary and final plats without a public hearing. In response to these new requirements, staff has prepared amendments to Title 17, titled Land Development, to address those requirements. As outlined, ordinance number 2025 would amend Title 17, Land Development, to address new statutory requirements for plat approval. Statutory requirements for at-risk grading will be addressed through another agenda item, which is item 8B later tonight, and adoption of ordinance number 2025-06. The proposed revisions before you on this agenda item clarify the wording for approval of preliminary and final plats by council without a public hearing. Preliminary plats would no longer be reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Any requirements for the development of the property must either be included in existing city code or be stipulated to by the developer. Also included in the proposed Title 17 revisions is the ability for the Public Works Director to approve certain public infrastructure. HB 2447 requires that these changes be made and be in effect for 2026. Staff recommends adopting ordinance number 2025-05 and resolution number R 2025-42 with an effective date of December 31st of 2025. With that, staff is available for questions. This has been scheduled for a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Tregaskis. I will now open the matter for a public hearing. I will now close the public hearing. Are there any questions for staff? Okay. By unanimous consent, Ms. Hall will read ordinance number 2025-05 by title only.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. City of Show Low Ordinance Number 2025-05, an ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Show Low, Arizona, amending the Code of the City of Show Low, Arizona, by amending Title 17, Chapter 17.05, General Provisions, Section 17.05.010, Administration, Chapter 17.10, Definitions, Section 17.10.020, Design Principles, Development Standards, Chapter 17.15, Application Procedures, Section 17.15.010, General Provisions, 17.15.020, Stage 1 Pre-Application Conference, 17.15.030, Stage 2 Preliminary Plat, 17.15.050, Stage 4 Final Plat, Chapter 17.20, Design Principles, Development Standards, Section 17.20.020, Street Design, 17.20.070, Lot Planning, Chapter 17.25, Improvement Requirements and Specifications, Section 17.25.070, Water. Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
For Councilman Hatch, I move to adopt ordinance 2025-05, amending Title 17 of the Show Low City Code and resolution number R 2025-24, declaring as a public record the document titled Title 17 Land Development.
Do we have a second?
I'm seconding the motion for Councilman Whipple.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. We'll now move on to public hearing. The next item under new business is public hearing and consideration of ordinance number 2025-06, amending Title 17, Land Development of City Code by adding Title 17.30, At Risk, grading and renumbering Title 17.35, Modifications, Appeals and Enforcements, and adopting Resolution Number R2025-43, declaring as public record that documents titled Title 17 Land Development. Mr. Tregaskis.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the second of the two related items. During the recent legislative session, the legislature passed HB 2447. This bill requires cities and towns to amend their codes to allow for certain at-risk grading projects. This bill also requires cities and towns to approve preliminary and final plats without a public hearing. In response to these new requirements, staff has prepared amendments to Title 17 Land Development. As outlined, the proposed revisions would rename Title 17.30 from Modifications, Appeals, and Enforcement to At-Risk Grading. Modifications, Appeals, and Enforcement would be renumbered from 17.30 to 17.35. This new section would allow for at-risk grading to take place under specific circumstances. Included in these requirements is a 6-month time frame to obtain a building permit, a requirement that building plans for the site be submitted, and a bond for restoring the site back to the original condition if a building permit is not obtained within the 6-month time frame. Changes to the wording required for approval of preliminary and final plats was addressed through ordinance number 2025-05. HB 2447 requires that these changes be made and be in effect for 2026. Staff recommends adopting ordinance number 2025-06 and resolution number R 2025-43 with an effective date of December 31st, 2025. Staff is available for questions. This has been scheduled for a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Tregaskis. I will now open the matter for a public hearing. I will now close the public hearing. Are there any questions for staff? By unanimous consent, Ms. Hall will read ordinance number 2025-06 by title only.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. City of Show Low Ordinance Number 2025-06, an ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Show Low, Arizona, amending the Code of the City of Show Low, Arizona by amending Title 17, adding renumbered 17.30 at-risk grading relating to the adoption of an at-risk permit program, adding renumbered Chapter 17.35, modifications, appeals, and enforcements, incorporating the recitals by reference, establishing a purpose, setting forth definitions, adopting application fees, providing for enforcement, providing for the repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, establishing effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
For Councilman Judd, I move to adopt ordinance number 2025-06, amending Title 17 of Show Low City Code. The resolution number R 2025-43, declaring as a public record the document titled Title 17 Land Development.
Do we have a second?
I am seconding the motion for Councilman Clark.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. The next item under new business is consideration of resolution number R2025-41, adopting pickleball court reservation policy and fees. Mr. Marisol, excuse me.
Hi, Mayor and Council. How are you guys doing? Good to see you again. So in 2019, the city had 4 pickleball courts built and made improvements to the other recreational facilities within the Show Low City campus. As the popularity of pickleball continued to increase, In 2023, the city had another 8 pickleball courts constructed. The city continues to see an increase in pickleball play and receives many requests to reserve court space for private and tournament play. City staff proposes adopting a pickleball court reservation policy and fee schedule. The purpose of the policy is to enhance the playing experience for the city's community pickleball players. Implementing a structured court reservation system will provide opportunities for organized private matches and tournaments, ensuring fair access and better enjoyment of the sport. Creating a fair and transparent reservation process will benefit both organized groups and individual players, allowing everyone to enjoy the game in a more organized and inclusive manner. Staff recommends adopting resolution number R2025-41, approving pickleball court reservation policy and fees. I'm available for any questions. I
do have a question.
I
Does this
figured.
come from the people that run the tournament? Did it come from all the pickleball players? Where does-
Pickleball players, just no one from the tournament, just pickleball players that play daily. So, and we're wanting just to reserve 2 of the courts, or 2 pods. So the 2 furthest to the north, we would leave the rest open for the paddle up system, so open play.
And how would you control that? Are they gonna be locked? Are they gonna be a code or what?
More of an honor system with a reservation board where we would, like our pavilions, where we would put the reservation on that court and just,
Have to see how that works the first year.
right.
I can see people going, no, I had reservation, no, you didn't. So because it gets really busy, I was just curious.
Yeah, so, and we wouldn't do it in peak hours, so it would be after, I think it was noon, we decided, so.
What's the fee schedule on that?
So it's $10 per court or $20 per pod for 2 hours.
Yeah, Mikey, did the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee, what was their recommendation on this? Did they weigh in on this?
Well, we talked to them about it a little bit and they were good with it. Yeah, they didn't really have much of an opinion about it.
When was that brought before them? Do you remember?
We talked about it a couple weeks ago at or last week when the meeting was.
Do we have a motion?
For Councilman Adams, I move to adopt resolution number R2025-4041, adopting a pickleball court reservation policy and fees.
Do we have a second?
I am seconding the motion for Vice Mayor Kakavas.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of motion, please raise your hand. The motion passes any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. The next item under new business is consideration of award of construction contract for water storage tank maintenance job order contract. City of Show Low project number 7602689. Mr. Hemisath.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilor, and students. Thanks for being here. The annual capital improvement project budget includes approximately $250,000 each year for water tank maintenance citywide. The city currently owns and operates 11 water storage tanks with an approximate capacity of 8.4 million gallons of storage. These tanks routinely require maintenance to the steel structure, interior and exterior paint, venting, ladder access, and manway ports. Multiple projects a year are sometimes required, and the work shall take place at various locations citywide in Show Low. Due to the yearly nature of the work, a job order contract was developed to manage the projects. A 3-year job order contract with 2 additional 1-year extensions was advertised to request a submittal of qualifications to select contractors that are qualified to bid on the yearly job orders. 5 contractors submitted statements of qualifications to highlight their capabilities to perform the requested work. A review panel meeting the qualifications outlined in Arizona state statutes was assembled to review the statement of qualifications. The contractors that submitted a statement of qualifications are L&M Painting, LDMB LLC, Professional Piping Systems, Riley Industrial Services, Inc., and Viking Painting LLC. Similar to the city's well JOC contracts, it was determined the selection of contractors who could participate in the JOC contract would be those who received the top 3 highest ranked statement of qualifications. The top 3 ranking companies are L&M Painting, Riley's Industrial Services, Inc., and Professional Piping Systems. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for the water storage tank job order contract, City of Shoalo project number 7602689, to L&M Painting, Riley Industrial Services, Inc., and Professional Piping Systems. Job order number 1 will be released in the upcoming months, allowing the selected contractors to bid the water tank maintenance work. I'm here for any questions.
Have we used them before?
I believe we have used one of these contractors recently on the tank rehab we did for Tank 8 in Torion last year.
Do we have a motion?
For Councilman Whipple, I move to award the construction contract for the water storage tank job order contract, City of Shoalo, project number 7602689, to L&M Painting, Riley Industrial Services Incorporated, and Professional Piping Systems.
Do we have a second?
I am seconding the motion for Councilman Hatch.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. The next item under new business is consideration of award of professional services contract for SCADA improvements to well 19, well 20, and 300K water storage tank. City of Shoalo project number 76026-105 and 76026-104, and authorization of associated budget transfers. Mr. Hempstead.
Thank you so much. The approved fiscal year 2026 budget includes funding for the rehabilitation of a 300K water storage and water tank and water production site. Well 19 and well 20 are the production components of the 300K storage tank. And during the tank rehabilitation, staff has been working with our well JOC contractors to bring those wells back online. Wells have been installed and are ready to begin production. The wells are currently not included in our supervisory control and data acquisition control system, as we say SCADA. The system allows staff to monitor and fully control the facilities on the computer versus manual operation. PACE, Advanced Water Engineering, is the design firm that has recently completed SCADA upgrades within our current system. Staff contacted PACE for a proposal to make necessary modifications to the SCADA system to include well 19 and 20. The scope includes installing necessary hardware and software modifications to the system to include the wells as they come back online. A detailed scope of work is also included in the council packet. Staff recommends approving the professional services contract for SCADA control system improvements for well 19 and 20 to PACE Advanced Water Engineering in the amount not to exceed $90,700. And I'm here for any questions.
Do we have a motion?
For Councilman Clark, I move to approve the professional services contract for SCADA control system improvements for well 19, well 20, and 30,000 water storage tank to Space Advanced Water Engineering in an amount not to exceed $90,700.
Do we have a second?
I am seconding the motion for Councilman Kakavis.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. Our next agenda item is a summary of current events. Do any council members have anything to report?
I just want to thank staff, all the hard work they do. I know lighting, the Christmas lights going up, and Rick, I've met with them a couple times the last week or two, and I know they work really hard, and I appreciate all the hard work, and I know the citizens of Shoalo do, and all the things they do to make our city great. So thank you, Rick and his crew, and for everything you do.
We will now turn the time to Mayor Leach.
I always have something to say. Commander Westover, thank you. I think it's an important thing that we do to let everybody know how important traffic is in our community. And I appreciate you coming and doing that. And I think I'm going to ask her to come back next month because I think she does a better job than I do. But thank you guys very much for today. I hope you got something out of it. And I think it's pretty awesome that we do this for you guys. And I think they did a fantastic job. Thank you.
I will now turn the time over to Student Council for a report on Show Low High School events.
So a few of us had the opportunity to go down to the Valley and to attend a student leadership conference, and that was super cool. And we would like to thank the city. They always get us a nice place to stay, and we get to have lunch with them, which makes us feel pretty important. But that's super great. So Bristol's going to give us a little rundown on it.
Thank you, guys. The League of Cities is always an amazing experience. It's great to be able to interact with other students involved with student government and get new ideas and new perspectives. We had the opportunity to socialize with kids from all over the state. It also helps us to develop networking skills that we can use in college. The speakers they have are always very entertaining, and we always get so much out of it. We want to thank the City Council and City Management for their support in this program. We appreciate all that they've done to help us gain this experience. It is something we look forward to every year. Thank you.
How come he doesn't have to talk? That ain't how we roll here. You got nothing to say? Then I'm going to embarrass you. So he was just eye candy for her, or what?
City Manager Mr. Brown will now give his report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council and students. It was great having the students with us today, and we had a great time teaching them a little bit more about how the city works, and hopefully some of them will desire someday to enter into the city government or city employment and stay here in Show Low and keep things going the way that they are. We appreciate them. This week we have the celebration of life and legacy of service for fallen officer Darren Reed on November 8th at 6 p.m. That's going to be at the Show Low Public Safety Headquarters. Refreshments will be served following the event. We also have our Show Low Shines Christmas Light Parade coming up on Saturday, December 6th, starting at 6:30. It'll be followed by the Christmas tree lighting in front of City Hall. You can find more information on the city's social media pages. The Recreation Department is also going to host the first annual Christmas Tree Trail. Much like the Scarecrow Walk, the Christmas Tree Trail will feature decorated Christmas trees along the Meadow Trail for all to enjoy. So registration has already begun and will go through November 29th. Any of those interested can register at the Show Low Family Aquatic Center. And in our public works projects, we're completing some concrete work around the airport parking project. They'll begin paving that next week. And then you guys, I'm sure, have seen the work on paving the Sierra Pines Trail along the highway there, and that's ongoing, and hopefully that'll be completed soon in the Sierra Pines subdivision. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. This brings us to scheduling of meetings. Are there any meetings to be mentioned at this time?
So we just remind council that we're just doing one meeting in November, and then our next meeting is going to be December 9th, and the next meeting after that on January 20th. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, I will now turn the time over to Mayor Leach for the executive session portion of the agenda.
Thank you. Again, you guys did a fantastic job. Luke, right? That you'll never get away with that again at my meeting. I promise you. Come to the podium, you got to say something. Anyway, great job again. You guys did fantastic. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Move to go to executive session.
Got a motion, I need a second. Got plenty of them. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed. We will now go into executive session. Thank you, guys. You guys are adjourned. You did great.